Hey, what's up guys? My name's Jared. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Honda, the Land Cruiser, and the Nissan. So, the Honda. There's been quite a bit of progress since my last update video. In the last video, the engine was out. I had pulled the head off. I took it to a machine shop. I had them reseat the valves because I was having compression issues. So that's all taken care of. Obviously, I've got the engine back together and back in the car. I spent a lot of time last night putting that back in. I was here till about midnight. And then this morning I was able to come in, finish it up, and get it running. So, I'll let you see it run. So it runs again. It's still not running quite the way that it should. Especially when I rev it up, it kind of starts popping and stuff. To get it to run this well, I had to play with the timing a little bit. It's not set where it's technically supposed to be set based on the book. Oh, look who it is, Walter. What's up, buddy? Hey, long time no see. What's up, Walter? Thanks for coming to visit. Okay, so anyway, bye, Walter. Anyway, it doesn't run quite like it should, and the timing's not set where it's supposed to be in order to get it to run like it is. So I think maybe the timing chain is stretched a little bit. I didn't replace that when I redid the engine, so I am trying to find a new timing chain, and I'll see if that helps it any. But it's close. It's running a lot better than it has, and now it runs long enough and well enough for me to move on to check the rear end. So the next step is going to be to install the clutch hydraulics while I've got it up on jack stands, and then run through all the gears, make sure it's going to shift okay, make sure the rear end is functioning and there are no crazy vibrations or sounds, and then I've got to get the brakes working so that I can move it. Now, I found some brake lines or some brake hoses for the rear, and I've got those on, so those are new, those are fine. On the front, I still have the old brake hoses on. I put them back on. I haven't been able to get any new brake hoses for the front yet, so I'm still working on that. But at least I've got the old hoses there so that I can move it in and out of the shop, maybe take it around the block, we'll see. But I won't be able to do any real driving until I get those hoses. So basically, the next thing I'm going to do is get the clutch going, check the rear end, get the brakes going, and then I can at least move it in and out of the shop. So that'll be nice. So that's the Honda. Now the Land Cruiser. I've still got the body in here, but I haven't done any work on it because it's just so messy. You know, grinding all this off is just going to make a huge mess in the shop, and I really want to do that work outside, but I can't do it in that spot until I get the Nissan running, so I can move the Nissan and then I can work on this in that spot. I am still waiting on the engine to come back from the machine shop, but basically the next thing for the Land Cruiser is going to be me pulling the frame back in here, and then once I get the engine, I'll put the new engine, or I'll put the engine back on the frame and get it all running again. So that's pretty much it on that. You will see, I just got these seats. I found these on eBay. I'm pretty sure they're different size seats. I think there's a longer version, like a wider version than this. So let me know in the comments if you know which roll bar works best with these. These seem to be the shorter seats. This is the roll bar that came with the Land Cruiser, but I don't know that I want to use it, and I don't think it's the right one, or maybe it's not going to work best with these seats. I'll have to kind of figure that out. But let me know what you think about that. So that'll kind of be one of the next steps on the body too, is figuring out which roll bar I'm going to use and getting it, and then figuring out where these seats are going to be mounted so that I can get all the holes and stuff prepped on the body for that. So basically I'm just waiting to get this body outside where the Nissan is, and then I'll tear back into this. So for the Nissan, I have the engine on the new engine stand. So the next step for this is going to be to pull the head off, pull the pistons out, and then hone out the cylinders, because it's just a little bit of grime, a little bit of corrosion in the cylinders. This thing is a rebuild engine, but it sat for a very long time after it's been rebuilt, and it wasn't very well taken care of. It wasn't very well preserved. So it got moisture in there, and there's some corrosion in the cylinders. Not a lot. It turns over, but there's a little bit of resistance. And then when I took the oil pan off and looked at the bottom of the cylinders, I could see some corrosion. So I want to get that cleaned up before I try to get this thing running. But then I've got all the other parts. I already have the head gasket, all the other gaskets like the main seals and everything for this. I've got all new, you know, starter, all that stuff ready to go on. Water pump, all that stuff's new, ready to go. So hopefully this isn't going to turn into a long process. Hopefully I can get this thing cleaned up, put back together, and then put in the truck very soon. If you saw my last video on the Nissan, you would have seen that I put in the new clutch master and slave cylinder. I also replaced this brake master cylinder because the one I had before that I put on was the wrong one. But so I got that done, and then I got the new fuel tank in it. You can see here, it's a new fuel tank. And then also, this is where the fuel pump is. I replaced the hose and the fuel filter there. So that should be good to go. So basically I'm getting really close on the Nissan. I've got, I bought a new clutch plate and everything for this, so I've got a new throw-up bearing to put in here. And then that's pretty much it, I think, on the truck itself. And then it's just a matter of getting that engine ready to go in and dropping it in here. And then hopefully I can get this thing to run and move. I did also just recently get the registration taken care of on this. This was a one-owner truck. I bought it from the original owner, but that person had lost the title for it, which isn't that big of a deal in California. There's a form you fill out for a lost title, but the problem was that original title that was lost must have had the release on it from the lien, because when he bought it new in '84, he took out a loan, and then obviously at some point between then and now he had paid it off, and I'm sure it said so on that title, but I didn't have the title. So I had to go through this whole title company to get a proof of release on the lien. And then anyway, it was kind of a nightmare, but I was able to take care of it, got all the paperwork done. So the registration is good. I just have to get it to pass smog, because here in California, anything over the year 75 has to pass smog. So that's why I had to have the original engine, the original car. People are saying, oh, put a different engine in it, you know, go fuel injection, do all this stuff. I can't do any of that. This car has to be all original, and it has to pass smog. Otherwise I can't get it registered in California. I mean, the cool thing is it's always been in California. It still has the original blue plates, which is rare. But yeah, so anyways, it has to pass smog. So that's why it's been harder than it would have been, or it could have been. But it's coming along well. It's gonna hopefully be running soon. So that's it for the Nissan. That's the Honda. That's the Land Cruiser. So that's it for this week. Okay, guys, thanks for watching as always. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.